Hey, Devin. For the first 4 months while you were sitting on the bench waiting to come back in, what was the vibe or the feel that you got from watching this team? What did you take away from their play?
I mean, I think the main thing was that they just showed up ready every day, as Murph has preached all year long, win tonight, and I think the team really took that and ran with it.
We're going to go the middle, second row.
Devin, because you didn't, where are you physically having rehab for the first 4 months versus where you might be had you had to pitch for the full 6 months? In other words, are you in a fresher place going into this postseason than you might be had you put all that wear and tear on?
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'm probably in a better spot, having not, had a full season's worth of work. So yeah, I'm in a great spot. I'm feeling good physically, mentally, all that.
Second row on the right.
You were out for half a season, and this bullpen had a lot of new faces on it yet. I think it's the second-ranked bullpen ERA in the majors. What was the key to this bullpen success? Why do you think y'all were as effective as you've been?
I think that, guys looked forward to stepping up, and having bigger roles. Nobody shied away from it. We've had guys like Hudson and Koenig and, a number of other guys that have just come out of nowhere and, given us a lot of value, given us a lot of big outs this year. And going with the win tonight thing, I think everyone's just embraced it. It's like today it's my turn to step up and help the team.
Second row to the left.
Devin, you of course were drafted by the organization, but every year there's, just by the nature of it, there's a lot of turnover with the bullpen. Just new faces every year. And the Brewers have really developed a reputation for helping guys improve when they come to this team. When you think back, just watching guys every year when they come into spring training from other teams, can you actually see that process of guys sort of finding something out about themselves when they get here?
I wouldn't say that it's necessarily we do anything differently, I think our coaching staff does a good job of, giving people confidence and trusting in their stuff and, teaching them ways to attack hitters better than they were doing previously. So, yeah, really not too much, noticeable to the eye. But, you can see it in people's demeanor for sure.
We go third row in the middle.
Hey, Devin, we all talk about your changeup, obviously, but your fastball this season has been arguably just as good. Fastball command is something that is obviously so important. How do you remind people you do have a very good fastball as well, and how well you've used it this season?
If you want to sit changeup all day, be my guest. I don't really pay attention to any of that. It's reading the hitter, reading the swings, just trying to, keep them off balance. And a lot of times this year it's been necessary to use my fastball more, so that's what I've done.
Stay in the same row, all the way to the right, Tyler.
Devin, you've had a couple of postseasons where there was an injury, and last year only 1 inning. How much does that motivate you, or how much do you think about that, I guess, wanting to show your best self in the playoffs and now having that chance to do that?
A lot of that is not dictated by myself, so I can only do so much with the opportunities that are given to me. I didn't really have a chance last year for a save or anything like that, so I don't know. I'll be ready whenever the time comes.
First row all the way to the right.
Devin, because you guys just saw this team and all these hitters, how much do you draw from, the at-bats and the sequencing and everything of how you matched up against them and how you want to attack them here now this series?
Yeah, it all plays into it, right? And being that it's so fresh, that was our last series, definitely need to be mindful of that. And we can take some things from that last series, but that's pitching, right? You got to continue to attack guys in different ways. You can't get predictable, and I think we'll be on top of it.
Going to go to the fourth row toward the middle.
Devin, Willie talked about how there's been sort of a different vibe in this team as opposed to some of the past year playoff teams. Do you agree, and what is different about this squad this year?
I would agree. I mean, I don't really know how to describe it to you. You know, there's just a closeness in that room. When everyone shows up every day, like, we enjoy being together. No one really wants to go home when the game's over, which is different than in years past. But that's what I would say. We play for each other. You know, we're always picking each other up. If you don't get the job done, the next guy's going to get it done, and, you know, we fully believe in that.
Go fourth row, all the way to the right, Tim.
The Brewers pretty much every year outperform expectations, projections from the outside. This year you guys traded Burns, lost Yelich midseason, and yet here you are again. From where you sit, how does the organization do that every year?
That goes back to what I was saying, you know, next man up. You know, we lost a guy like Yelly and Burns, and just kind of pulled guys out of a hat, I guess, and Tobias, and, you know, Colin stepped up really big this year. But other than that, it's just a mindset in that clubhouse that the next guy's got to step up, you know, and we want them to be comfortable and, you know, and be able to help our team in any way they can.
Third row to the right.
Devin, you said pulling guys out of a hat on the pitching staff. Out of those guys that have seemingly been pulled out of a hat, you know, come out of relatively nowhere to perform well this year, has there been one in particular that has, like, impressed, or I don't know if necessarily surprised is the right word, but you've been impressed by their ability to step up this year?
I mean, in terms of, like, new guys, I would say Tobias for sure. You know, I don't think anyone was expecting him to be in our rotation when we broke camp this spring. Probably not even himself. But, you know, he keeps taking the ball every fifth day, and every time he gave us a chance to win.
Anything else for Devin? We'll go to the left, fourth row.
Devin, historically, these series openers in the wild card round are very important. How do you guys manage that without pressing and getting too over the moment?
I think that we just need to play our game, you know, come out with the same energy that we've had all season. It's going to be a little bit more ramped up here, being that it is the postseason, but I think with as young and inexperienced as this team is, they only know how to go 100%. You know, we've done that all year, and I don't think it'll be a problem going into tonight.
Second row, middle.
Devin, we're sitting here probably 7 hours before you get in this game, if you get in this game. How do you quiet your mind, and how do you cover this time before it's time to go out there and pitch?
I don't know. You know, I just trust in my routine. You know, I do the same thing every day. You know, wake up, have my coffee, drive to the field, yada, yada. I just go about my business like any other day.
Sticking to the same row on the right.
It was mentioned your relative lack of postseason experience. You pitched a tiny bit last year against Arizona. From that little bit you got last year, how different or not different is it pitching in this kind of setting versus a regular season when you come out in the ninth?
I mean, obviously it's different, right? The stakes are a little higher, but that's a mentality. It's as big as you want it to be. So, I mean, if I'm not psyching myself out of my head and just going out there like everything's usual, I think it'll be fine.